Buon pomeriggio! Welcome to Clelia's Cucina Italiana. Today, once again, we're going to do one of my recipes out of my book on page 81, and it's a chicken breast with Gorgonzola sauce and cognac, which is really delicious. And for our side dish, we're going to do something a little different than the carrots that are with the recipe on the book. We're going to do spinach this time, and I think you're going to like it. It's a little twist to it. It's really going to be good. But for now, let's start with the chicken breast. Here is a nice chicken breast like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to split it in half like this. And it's almost like a cutlet, but a little bit thicker. Like that, see? Now, if you want, you can leave it like this, which I think is a little big. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're just going to cut it in half like that. And make sure you have a nice sharp knife. Okay, so we're going to do that with all of them. I have here about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm going to add about a couple of tablespoons of butter with it. Okay? And we're just going to wait until the butter melts. And I like to keep this on high. Okay? Make sure that it's nice and hot before you put it in. And what we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit of salt all over. And a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to, a little bit on this side too. I'm going to dip it in flour, lightly. I'm going to put a little bit of thyme here, right into the oil, just to give it a little flavor. Just like that, scatter. It doesn't matter, like that. Ah, there. Now we have fireworks here. I think it's a little bit of the water. Okay, so there we go, like that. We're going to put that in. And the same with this. Put a little, sure the salt is all over. Okay. Like so. So I try to do three at a time or so. 2-3 minutes per side should be okay. Okay, well that's getting done. I'm going to show you the other recipe that we're going to do. The spinach. I'm just going to put maybe 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 or 2 tablespoons of oil, like that, extra virgin. And then I'm going to put a little bit of butter, 1 or 2 pads of butter. Keep that on high. What we need is a half small shallot. And we can put a little bit of garlic, but then we're going to take it out, okay? So I'm going to put the onion, but I don't really want it fried. I want it to get nice and just soft. I think we can turn, yeah. A little bit more on this one. We can turn this one. Just a little bit more. And just as it starts sealing like this, maybe we can add the rest. See? Because now it's kind of, if it was gonna, some water was gonna come out, it would have come out already by now. So I think we are safe. So we can put the rest of this. And I'm going to put like a half a large clove in here. And then I'm just going to leave it here. And then might as well put the oil in. And with that, we're going to put about 1/4 cup of Pignoli nuts. They go with the spinach here. 1/4 cup, just put it in. And also about 1/3 cup of golden raisins. They all go in. And we just stir it like that. Like so. You have to keep an eye on this because you don't want it to get overcooked either. Okay, now we have the spinach here. And I'm using baby spinach because they're just easy to use and they come out nicer. Okay? So you just wash them out of the paste. These are the ones actually you use for salad. But I like to cook it too because it doesn't take long and it's nice and clean. You just rinse it. Now it looks like a lot, but as you know, it's gonna go right down. And it really makes a nice accompaniment to this chicken. And to that we're gonna add a little bit of salt so it helps to wilt down. Okay, now we're gonna put a cover until it wilts down. Okay, and I think this chicken looks good. And what we do now, we're gonna take it out, nice and golden all over. And we're gonna start with the sauce. Delicious sauce. Okay, now we're going to just dump some of this fat in a container here. Okay. And we're going to add our cognac, okay? And with that, we're going to clean our pan. That's what happens when you put either wine or any kind of alcohol. It just cleans and gets all those nice bits that are left in the pan. Okay, and to that we're gonna add the cream, which is a half a cup of heavy cream. And of course we're gonna add a little salt, not too much because we wanna make sure that the gorgonzola, it's a little salty, so we wanna make sure it's not too salty. So we're just going to put little pieces at a time. And you can put 5 or 6 ounces, you know. Oh, this is so delicious. I'm gonna lower this a little bit because I want this to melt. And we also want to put a little bit more of butter, like 1 tablespoon. So. And we're just going to stir it until all the cheese is melted. You can serve it over fettuccine with a little bit of the chicken. Now, I want you to see this. This was a whole big container of spinach. Look how far it went down. So if you have a big crowd, buy a couple of those. Okay? I'm gonna just put it in a serving dish. Okay, so this is the accompanying dish to go with the chicken. And now the chicken is doing really good, the sauce here. What we're going to do, we're going to add the chicken back in just enough to warm it up. So what do you think? Let me go over again. You get chicken breast, or you could also use chicken cutlets if you don't want to bother cutting it. Okay? And you put a little salt and pepper on each side, and then you dip it in flour and shake it off, just so you don't put too much flour. And then you have a couple tablespoons of olive oil and a couple tablespoons of butter. And you wait until that gets nice and hot, and you add the chicken. And you brown the chicken on both sides. I say 2 to 3 minutes per side, okay, depending on the thickness. Then you take it out, you throw out some of the leftover fat or whatever it is in the pan, and you add the cognac, let that cook a little bit, and then you add the cream, and then you add the gorgonzola and a little bit of butter. Okay? This is all done. Perfect. Put it in the serving dish. Until next time, this is Clelia. Buon appetito e arrivederci alla prossima volta. Now, try these dishes. You're gonna love them. I really mean it. Ciao!